Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Sotto som känner konstigt, pappa kan så felina. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Welcome to Wanna Bet, our first Wanna Bet ever, Beltway Ben, without really any NFL in it at all. Because even when we launched in May, we were already coming off the draft. We were thinking about NFL futures. We were playing some NFL futures. This is the first time in a long time I am sitting on no NFL tickets in my pocket whatsoever. It is a brave new horizon for Wanna Bet, but we obviously do way more than football here. We appreciate everybody who helped us smash NFL single game windows all season long, and it won't be long before we're thinking about NFL bets again, but this is a unique time in the betting calendar. All of our football inventory is behind us. We've got Olympics going on. We've got the NHL shut down. Baseball, spring training, pitchers and catchers just starting to show up. College hoops obviously ramping up towards conference tournaments. And the NBA just ahead of the All-Star break and just off of a weird trade deadline. So there's a lot going on. It's hard to navigate. We're here 7 days a week to try to help you do it. And we show all our work. Beltway Ben, look, that was not a great Super Bowl for overs whatsoever. But I will put my handicap of that game up against anybody in America. We were on Seattle immediately. We like Seattle across the board. We told you to lay alt numbers with Seattle from the giddy up. We laid 9.5 comfortably yesterday. We broke the game down Super Bowl Sunday and said Seattle's going to get to at least 27 points. New England's not going to get to more than 17, and we think it's more like 13. We said 30-13, 33-13. That's where we had the game pegged. We didn't do anything on New England other than Drake May running, which he should have done a little bit more of, Mac Hollins catching 3 balls, and that was it. We said we thought Seattle was going to outproduce New England in a lot of ways. Seattle would have more takeaways. New England would turn the ball over more. We thought Shaheed would make a play. He had multiple opportunities too, and honestly, Smith and Jigba getting hurt and Gonzalez moving to Shaheed, cost us a lot of money. It's the Super Bowl. You're going to go after some 16-1, some 25-1s. But we also smashed a lot. I mean, Seattle take a deep shot early in the game, over 20 or more yards. We were on that game. Sam Darnold had a jittery first half. Still almost came through for us in a couple of ways. The Smith and Jigba injury obviously hurt. But in terms of totals, sides, game flow, who to be on, who to stay away from, yeah, Shaheed catching one downfield ball would have put us up 20-some units, easy. Especially if it happened the first time they threw long to him. But I don't know. I was all over that game. I'm very comfortable with the way we talked about that game for 2 weeks on this show. And that was a game that was a bloodbath for a lot of people. New England in garbage time helped some people a little bit, but that was exactly the ball game I expected in a lot of ways, other than, I thought Kenneth Walker might have caught one more pass. I thought, Holani would have he got 3 touches. I thought they'd be more catches than runs. What are you going to do? And Shaheed was one explosive away from making it a monster game for us.
Yeah, I had a pretty good night. I finished profitable there. Hunter Henry, that was the one that kind of screwed me, but it is what it is. He catches one more pass in garbage time. Instead, he gets hurt, and of course wasn't going to go back out on the field down 3 scores. But if he would have and catches one more pass, I would have definitely had a pretty good night. Leonard Williams getting a sack on an offsides, and he was an irrelevant player in that, sucked. And it was like they lined up offsides. It wasn't even like they jumped offside, so it wasn't like there was a gimme sack. That was unfortunate. We lost that one at plus money. Sam Darnold, right before halftime, threw what looked to be a certain pick. Gonzalez wasn't able to come down with it. If Darnold would have thrown a pick, we would have finished a little bit better there. So there were a few things that slightly went against us. But as Jason said, I mean, we were all over it. I felt pretty good about a lot of stuff and had some success.
Yeah, like, look, I knew McDonald would be deploying defensive backs. We were on a man warrior. I got it over 800, gave it to you guys at plus 680. I mean, a man warrior almost had multiple sacks in that game. Like, okay, it ended up being Witherspoon, but like, I had a feel for how he was going to attack that horseshit left tackle and what was going to happen. Again, Shaheed catching one of those balls would have been massive. He had a chance to be the first to 40 yards. I thought it would take a while for somebody to get over 40 yards. It did. I think it was Cooper Kupp in the second freaking half. I think he had 37 at halftime. So yeah, a weird game, a weird NFL season. One of the more unpredictable in recent history. And again, anybody who watches the show regularly knows those single game windows we cast for you guys. So now we move on, Beltway Ben. We move on to a brave new horizon here. Anything else we need to get to before we give out today's plays?
No, I think that's all. That's good.
No contacts for you today? How the contacts going?
No. I have one left before Friday's appointment, and I'm going to use it on Wednesday when I play basketball.
So
I do want to get it for when I run at the gym, though, because when I'm running at the gym, I have my phone on. They have TV, so I usually don't watch the premier game on my phone. They have it on TV, but my eyes are terrible. I don't want to get my glasses all sweaty, so I take them off. And my eyes, it's hard to see anything. So it's like the big TVs. I'm like, it's what it is. They need to give me more contacts.
We should have a contest who's got the worst eyes. We should go and do a video where we both take our glasses off and try to read an eye chart and see how far back who can do it. Mine are terrible.
Oh, mine are bad too. Real quick for the people in the comments, we know we post everything we got or whatever. Today, I only posted the record because I have every single bet. But for me to go through on YouTube and do it, it's going to take me 30 minutes live. So once the show was ended, you can go back and look. They don't take anything away. They don't have a character limit post video. But when the video is live, you can only have so many characters. I usually can do it, and I'll just edit. I can't do it right now. It's way too much. But right as soon as the video is done, as soon as it's ended, you guys will be able to see it.
There you go. People. Just take the -9.5 and be happy. Most people are betting the game. It wasn't even sweaty. 33-13. 30-13. 29-13. First down. Doing a little Olympic hockey parlay here, Beltway Ben. Starting group play for the men this week. We've got a 4-team parlay here. We're going with Finland on the money line, Germany on the money line, Canada laying 1.5, US laying 1.5, plus 210 at FanDuel. DraftKings odds. They're not letting you do alt lines yet, and so you're looking at laying 3.5 with the U.S. or 2.5 with Canada. And look, they may very well cover that, but the 1.5 obviously is big here because I don't think either of these are 1-goal games late, but obviously the empty net potential is right. I mean, look, the U.S., Canada, two best teams in the world. They squared off in the Four Nations a year ago, which, remember, we haven't had professionals in Olympic hockey for a while, but the Four Nations was legit. It's the best of the best. I expect them to be fully motivated with professionals back in the Olympics, a lot of them for the first time because it's been so long since this happened. Both have pretty fortuitous draws here. I don't need to belabor that. Look, Germany, Draisaitl. Germany, like, I covered the NHL for a long time. Like, I remember when this kid Sturm's dad got drafted, and it was a big deal that somebody from Germany got drafted in the top half of the NHL draft. Now there's German players all over the NHL. Denmark, maybe an up-and-coming hockey nation, but I just think Germany's got too much talent. Denmark might be able to score the puck a little bit. I'm worried about their blue line. I'm worried about their goalkeeping. I think Germany wins that game. And Finland's one of the 4 best teams in the world. They've got Four Nations experience. I know that didn't maybe go as well as they'd hoped, but there's just too much talent there. I think they take care of Slovakia. So 2-1. We expect the favorites to come out hungry early in this tournament.
First down for me, we're going to the college basketball market, and we're going to play the over. NC State and Louisville over 161.5 at minus 110. I really love this spot here. Louisville, I talked about their pace a lot to start the season, and nothing's really changed for Kelsey, right? They had a stinker against Duke where they scored just 53 points or 55 points. They were ugly there, but outside of that, it's been 80 plus in a majority of their games. NC State, 80 plus points in 5 straight matchups. Most Will Wade teams are defense first. When he was at McNeese, they were fine winning games 58-46 in ugly fashion. All of a sudden, he goes to NC State, and he brought a few pieces with him, but they brought a lot of offense, more offense than defense. Darian Williams comes over from Texas Tech, was not able to get things going early on. All of a sudden, of late, he's back to the players that they paid the money to come there. Trey Holloman, he's more of a rah-rah type of guy defensively, plays a little bit of defense from Michigan State, but he can shoot the three. They've had success shooting the three of late, and they've played pretty damn good basketball. You go to Louisville, I'm not worried about them shutting down Louisville. Louisville's only scare should be, can we outscore them? Because I think that's the type of game that both of these teams are fine playing. If this game was at NC State with Will Wade's background, maybe I'd be a little bit more worried, but I don't think they're going to be able to shut Louisville down. I think they're just going to have to outscore them, and they're going to have to play at a fast pace. NC State does not have the dogs to slow Louisville down, running pace and like that. So I do think it'll be 80 plus points both ways. And I think we get over the 161.5 at minus 110.
Excellent. Second down for me. Let's go to the association. Joker triple doubles at home. The Dr. Jerry Aloysius Coleman special. We've been riding it for a while. They're not giving it away anymore, Beltway Bet. I played it by itself yesterday at plus 126. You can't find it by itself today any better than minus 124 just for the Joker triple double. It's minus 155 in some places. So we parlayed it before the show with Joker triple double with Jared Allen, 9 or more rebounds, Harden, 8 or more assists. This is Cleveland, the new look, Cavs at Denver. Look, no more minute restrictions on Joker. He played 45 minutes in double overtime against the Knicks last week. Joker triple doubles hitting 5 of the last 6 at home. The one it didn't hit on, he only played 29 minutes against OKC. He had 16, 7, and 8. So he was obviously flirting with it. The other night against Chicago, he did it in the first half again. We expect him to do it here. We expect this to be a close game. Look, Denver's struggling to defend the 3-ball lately. The last 10 games, Denver's allowing 17 assists per game to guards. That's bottom 4 in the NBA. Harden's going to be looking to dish. Obviously, he just got to Cleveland, got his legs under him over the weekend against Sacramento. Not the greatest game in the world. But 8 for him is basically below his average. And we think that Cleveland's going to be able to get their shots off against the Denver defense that's been sagging. And then Jared Allen, 9 or more rebounds. Mobley's still out. He's hit this in 4 of the last 5. The only game in that span he didn't hit it, he only played 23 minutes against Phoenix. He still got 7. I don't know. Like, I think he's getting 10 or more in this game. I got to be honest with you. We played it at 9, trying to be a little conservative. That is plus 284. Joker triple-double, Jared Allen, 9 or more boards, Harden, 8 or more assists.
Second down for me, we're going to another college basketball matchup. We're going to play Kansas on the money line. We're going to play that at plus 116. Here, Kansas playing damn good basketball of late. Since that loss to West Virginia, they've gone on a roll, and they're winning games, by a lot, right? I mean, you look at the BYU game, it was an 8-point game, but outside of that, and the Texas Tech, of course, but outside of those games, they've been a lot of smash spots, and they've been handling teams at home and on the road. Now you're going to put this matchup with Arizona, who's yet to lose. I talk about it all the time. You're not finding many of those Kentucky teams that go undefeated all year and win it all. That's not a normal thing anymore. Arizona's due for a loss. I love what Arizona's team is. They're a very solid, strong squad. But when Darren Peterson's on the court, you can argue Kansas is up there with them, right? Darren Peterson on the basketball court for Kansas has been a game changer. When I gave out Texas Tech the other game, it was because at that moment, Darren Peterson had just sat out of a second half. He played 2 minutes and didn't play the rest of the game. All of a sudden, he's playing again. There's hype. This is at their arena. We know how lit Allen can get and how fired up that fan base is. You're going to have the number 1 team in the country, which Bill Self has had no issue taking down in his coaching career. He's faced a lot of number 1 teams in the country. At home, I just think with the experience that Kansas has, a top freshman similar to what Arizona does, And Arizona's been on the ropes, right? That BYU game for a while, I'm like, oh, wow. They're up 18. They're going to blow them out. All of a sudden, BYU has the ball with a chance to take it. So if Kansas is down for 35 minutes in this game, home crowd does play. Like we saw it at UNC. Duke was winning the entire game. Down the stretch, they crumbled a little bit. Arizona, the guys they rely on, could that pressure get to them? I think it could. And we're getting plus money at home. I'm fine with that. Give me Kansas on the money line at plus 116.
Great minds think alike, Beltway Ben. I jumped this at plus 130 at Bet 365 yesterday. I'm officially on it for a meatball here. You could find it at as high as plus 136 a few hours ago. As Beltway Ben laid out, we try to keep the lines as active as possible in real time. You can't find it above plus 116. It's plus 110 in a lot of places. I don't think you're going to get plus money that much longer. Ben pointed out, look, I was on Kansas last week. I think Kansas is gelling. Kansas has won 7 in a row. That's a real home court advantage. Arizona's overdue for a loss. And Beltway, Ben, you mentioned it. Arizona's played one close game in the last 2 months, and that was at BYU, and they maybe kind of should have lost it. Like, they haven't been in these close and late spots. This Kansas team, man, they're top 10 now in KenPom defense. They're top 20 in KenPom three-point defense. They're top 6 in KenPom two-point defense. If Arizona has to chase the game, they're not used to doing it. I think it's time. It's time for them to lose. I'm with you there, Beltway Ben. Hop Zeit!
That's Bad Bunny. Don't know the words, but great music.
I thought that was extraordinary.
I agree. I know the songs, but I don't know Spanish well, but I loved it.
I'm a big fan now, brother.
It was great.
I mean, I knew of him. I knew sort of what he was about. Mm-hmm. But what a tour de force. That was awesome.
That was great.
Awesome. The production value, I mean, how well thought out. I mean, it was amazing. Yep. When you go to Puerto Rico a lot, right? I mean, did it feel like Puerto Rico?
I watch it with my family. My brother-in-law is Puerto Rican, and they're from there. We go all the time. And if you look, they were just like dying because the beginning when he's walking through, that's literally what the street that we stay on looks like. It's like, it was pretty cool. It was very, very cool.
It was awesome.
It was very accurate.
Awesome. That's way, way up there for me, all-time performances. I was at the Prince performance, sitting in the rain in the stands. That's going to be hard to top, but especially ones I haven't been at, that's way, way up there for me. All right, Beltway Ben, let's stay on the hardwood collegiate style. We love us some Lumberjacks, baby. Stephen F. Austin, it is a limited college slate today, but we get our Jacks at home. Yeah, it's a big number, 15.5. We can get it juiced in our favor, minus 105. This is about not just Stephen F. Austin, and yes, they did cover for us against Lamar again. I don't know that we're hearing from little old rap from me, Lamar, for a while. But East Texas A&M, they're hosting, Beltway Ben. SFA won at ETAM 78-62 earlier this year. Our Lumberjacks are 13-2 against the spread in conference. 8-1 against the spread as a home favorite. This Eastern Texas A&M team is bottom 325 in the country in offense. They are 277th shooting the three ball and 365th defending the three ball. That could be a problem against Stephen F. Austin at home. 4-10 against the spread. Last 14 for East Texas A&M. They are 6-7 against the spread as a road dog. Look, Stephen F. Austin didn't play their best basketball against Lamar. Still covered for us in the end by making their foul shots. We think they're overdue for a smash game, and we think they win this by 20 or more.
Yeah, I'm going to go to an NBA spot. And, listen, you guys know how many NBA props I play and how into it I am. I'll be honest with you. I have some in overtime, but today I couldn't bring myself a lot of stuff just because the All-Star break does scare me a little bit. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. It's just kind of where I'm at, but I did come here. Timberwolves on the money line. Anthony Edwards, 20-plus points. CJ McCollum, 10-plus points, minus 116. Anthony Edwards, 20-plus points in almost every single game this year. They're coming off of a nationally televised matchup with the Clippers where they were embarrassed. And it was a Clippers team that just told you they're rebuilding. They're selling. You still have Kawhi. It's hard to fully sell with Kawhi, and you traded for John Collins, whatever. Or last year you added John Collins. I just don't know that they're going to fall on their face again here at home against the Hawks team that is bottom 5 in defense all year. And you add CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, not to help on the defensive end. You get rid of Porzingis. I know he's dealing with whatever that illness is. But when he's on the court, they're of course a better defense. Like they're not good defensively. Nothing is changing. They want to play at a fast pace, and I think Minnesota can match that. The game's in Minnesota. You can't lose 2 at home in front of your home crowd. They pulled the starters a little early. And you could see that there's some frustration going on there. But I do expect them to get right here against the Hawks team who just I can't buy. Like I can't buy them on paper. I know I gave them out the other day against Utah. That was more fading Utah than it was buying what Atlanta has. They're kind of in between where it's like they should be rebuilding, but and they're gonna get the first pick from the Pelicans, which will be a good pick. But like I just can't buy anything they have. CJ McCollum, he can score it, so we'll throw him in there. He's had 10 plus points in all but 2 games since being traded over. I like that. So Timberwolves on the money line, Anthony Edwards 20 plus points, and McCollum 10 plus points minus 116.
Excellent. Fourth down. It's fourth and short. It's also kind of weird because we don't do these plays that often, but I went to the over in the Utah-Miami game tonight. Utah scores a lot of points, gives up a lot of points. Same thing with Miami. In the first quarter in particular, these two teams start off games like a rocket generally, and they can't defend at all. For the season, Miami is an over team in the first quarter. But in the last 15 games, Miami's averaging 31.5 points per first quarter, second in the NBA. They're allowing over 29 per first quarter in that span. Utah, over their last 15 games, and again, this is a season-long trend as well, allowing 32.2 points per first quarter over their last 15. That's second most in the NBA. Neither team has much to play for. A lot of young chuckers. Let's get 60 points in the first quarter. It's juiced in our favor. Minus 105 at the bet 365.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep the clock wrong because I'll be pretty quick here with mine as well because I can't really explain much to you. Let me get it. It's fourth and weird. It is fourth and weird. And listen, I know the other day I said I'm not going to be on much Olympic stuff or whatever, but today I told you I don't love the NBA slate, so we're going to go to the U.S. women's hockey team. Hillary Knight, anytime goal and 3+ shots on goal. She's done this in 2 straight games. You get a matchup today, they should dominate. I mean, they're 5.5 point or 4.5 point favorites, whatever it is. She's tied for the lead of all time. Like, you don't think they're going to try to get her one against a subpar team? I don't know. She's one of the GOATs, they say. I became familiar with her 2 days ago when I saw that she, or yesterday, whatever it was, when I saw that she tied the record. One of the GOATs, though. So I am a fan of hers, especially if she can cash for us today. And I think these odds are good. Yeah,
How long you been a fan? Since you placed this bet last night, how long have you been a fan of Hillary Knight?
Since I found out who she was, which was when I saw that she tied the record. And then I went back and saw, oh, wow, she scores in almost every game for the women's hockey team. And then I saw, oh, wow, they should smoke them. So if they are going to win, and like, why wouldn't you? I just did it for, again, this is not, don't put much money on this because I'm not good with Olympic women's hockey. But Switzerland, if you look, has gotten smoked. What, like, go look at Switzerland's hockey games. I mean, they literally get smoked in most of them. If you're going to get smoked and you have a teammate who they're calling one of the greatest, how is she not going to put one in the net? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I hear you, brother.
I don't have enough today, and I thought it'd be funny if I chucked this out and
great.
had no idea what I was saying.
You don't need to apologize.
Go Hillary Knight, one of the greatest women's hockey players of all time, and I've been familiar with her for all of 22 hours. Go Hillary Knight. Keep doing what you're doing, and put one in the back of the net for us here.
She's got Camilla Cardoso potential.
By the way, AJ Barner is making a fight for that damn Hall of Fame. The touchdown catch yesterday, he's
the anytime touchdown, and I had him over Henry. Yeah,
he's on his way.
He's in others receiving votes.
If Hillary Knight puts one in the back of the net today, are you considering her or no? Is it too early for a minus 136?
I've been mentally, I've been going to meatball mentally, but I'm going to lay off. I think it's best to let this percolate first. What time is this? What is puck dropping?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. today?
Yeah.
Oh, so we can watch it while we work.
Yeah, put one in. Yeah. Dude, Switzerland gives up like 60 shots on goal. I'm like, what the hell? They're giving up 60 shots on goal.
I don't even know how many thousands of stories I've written in my life, but one of my all-time favorites was definitely a couple of my all-time favorites. I was at the Detroit Free Press back in 1998 covering the Red Wings. Women's ice hockey was becoming an Olympic sport for the first time, and there had to be 10 Michiganders on that roster, maybe more than 10. So it was a big local story for the Freep. So I got to watch them. Like I went over to like Ontario a couple times, like it might have been Windsor, went and saw them play Canada a few times. Then they played a exhibition series with Canada in Vancouver during the NHL All-Star break, which I covered. I got to know a lot of those ladies a little bit and then wrote about them extensively in Nagano. And they ended up beating Canada for that World Cup. It was pretty, I'm kind of getting goosebumps now thinking about it.
That's crazy.
And the Trailblazers they were. And that story I wrote when they won the gold, I mean, it's definitely one of the 5 or 6 most memorable in my career. They were awesome. They were awesome. And it was a lot of fun to cover. But I would be lying if I told you I'd done a lot of work on women's hockey lately. But I have an appreciation for the sport. And if that was on at 2 o'clock, I'd be watching it. And I knew I'd be like, let's put this on, even if Ben didn't have action on it.
Yeah.
But now that Ben's got action on it.
Dude, Hillary Knight is one of the
Next
better
level.
ones. She's, I mean,
Next
one of the goats from what they say on Twitter. One of the goats. And I became familiar with her recently. But go Hillary.
Angelo Ruggiero. That's one of the goats. Now, she was not a Michigander, though. I feel like she was from Boston. I don't think she was a Michigander. All right. Overtime. We've been all right with these little 3-leg money line college hoops parlay. Navy. We love Navy. We watched them play American over the weekend. I can't hit an American bet to save my life. I hit this one. Navy did the job and they covered, which I didn't give out, but it helped me in real life. They play Bucknell. It's at Bucknell. Okay, Navy doesn't smash people on the road like they smash people at home, but they've got a chance to be the 1 seed in that conference, and I think they're going to take care of Bucknell. Louisville's hosting NC State. Louisville's losses at home this season. Duke and UVA. They're pretty good at home. I think they can beat the Pac tonight. And then Yale, this is weird. The MEAC and the Ivy League, because they've got like a weird number of teams and the conferences are so small, they start playing out of conference games to get through the week this time of year. Yale against Howard. Look, I like Howard. I think Howard's going to win the MEAC. We told you guys we liked Howard early in the year, but I think Yale can beat Howard tonight. Yale's got a lot of offensive firepower. So Navy, Louisville, Yale, money line plus 126 at the Bet 365.
Yeah, I'm going to just one kind of long shot NBA parlay, somewhat long shot. I mean, it's not that long shot, but we're going to play Anthony Edwards for 25 plus points. Anthony Simons, LeBron James, 15 plus points, and Domantas Sabonis, 8 plus rebounds, plus 273. I also like Sabonis for 8 plus rebounds at minus 137. Listen, the guy, I know he's been out with back tightness and he's playing 1 game, missing 2, so the minutes restriction is certainly still there, but he should be active on the glass in this matchup against the Pelicans, who do struggle on the glass. They're bottom 4 over their last few games. I don't think anything is going to change here. Sabonis is one of those guys who will tip it off the rim 8 different times to himself in one possession and could get us there just like that. I mean, it's just how he is and how he's been. And he's also one of those dudes that people clear out because he's the tallest guy on the court and will grab rebounds. LeBron, no Luka. LeBron's been going for 15 plus with regularity. He's had back-to-back double-doubles. He's been locked in. And like the Dortcher, I would expect Dort, he'll spend some time with LeBron, but I think it'll be a little bit more Austin Reeves trying to throw him off. Anthony Simons, listen, the dude might not be a contender to help a team win, but he will get his, and he will get his buckets. So Simons, since he's been in Chicago, has been shooting the ball pretty well. And then Edwards, like, he's got 30-plus points in 4 of his last 5. I know last game he finished with just 23 points. I think he's going to come out ready to go against the Hawks defense that has really, really struggled. So Anthony Edwards, 25-plus points. Anthony Simons and LeBron James, 15-plus points. And Domantas Sabonis, 8-plus rebounds, plus 273. And then we're also going to play Sabonis for 8-plus rebounds at minus 137.
Excellent. As always, you guys can email us at wannabetwithus@gmail.com. However you normally consume us, if you don't mind subscribing on another platform, if you're watching, just, subscribe on the iTunes or the Apple Podcast or whatever, or Spotify's. I'm a Spotifyer. I download it on Spotify. You could download it in multiple places, I guess, if you really wanted to. We're not against that. We're on, obviously, YouTube. We're on Twitter. Would have been nice to be on FanDuel, Ohio. That would have been fun. But wait, Ben, anything in the comments before we put up the final football-related scoreboard ticket of the season?
Not just a lot of people just talking about Super Bowl, saying good day, everybody, and just very happy people. And somebody, Nate Tomlinson, one of our loyals, said Barner took Kraft's spot. So I think
Took whose?
Tucker Kraft. Because Tucker Kraft was
yeah.
an autoplay for you early, but he got hurt towards ACL. So
Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah.
AJ Barner
Absolutely.
cast a plus 550, a bunch of other stuff, and then he gets a 250 here. And hopefully you guys took one of the tight ends for first touchdown. I was hoping it was Hooper, but AJ Barner I'm perfectly fine with.
Yeah. Again, Darnold not having a pass of 30 yards. Jackson Smith and Jigba missing half the game had something to do with that. Couple more carries out of May. We got over the 35 rushing yards, but I thought he was going to do way more than that. Him not running the ball at least 10 times was odd for McDaniels and for everybody over there. Like Vrabel, they should have figured that out sooner. Shaheed coming down with one of those deep balls, any of those things go differently, it would have been massive. But we had that game pegged, and look, we're trying to get some plus money plays here and going after it a little bit. We will be back tomorrow at 11. I think we're at 11 all week except Friday, probably, Ben, right? We might do a Thursday nighter.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Friday could be a little – Wednesday we'll do it from the normal time, basically.
Just from, yeah.
But from the studio.
The camera.
From the radio station.
Yeah.
We've got Premiership all week long. Weird week in the Prem, but we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday matches. Obviously, we're running out of NBA inventory this week with the All-Star break. But obviously college hoops going on. And we will continue to monitor the Olympic markets as well. And Beltway Ben, we're going to start rolling out some MLB futures in the next few weeks.
Absolutely, we are. Absolutely, we
probably
are.
More like excited. March. Will that be, I guess, late February?
It'll be late February. We're going to try to take you guys up until the Wednesday, the first pitch of the Giants-Yankees game. And we're also going to try to do it. We've talked about it often. We're going to try to do it to where the teams that we give you first are done in the offseason, and the teams that we give you a little bit later, we hope make their final moves. And again, some of this lasts long, and we can't fully – it's just like NFL. We can't fully predict a team trading for a guy a week before the season, but we're going to do our best to – and injuries and stuff like that, we're going to do our best to try to take you up until, the first day with the teams who are going to do moves later, us giving our picks out for them later. And nothing – if it's official, Jason and I will hold Meatball up, we'll hold the dogs up. Like, this is more conversational. Not everything we give out is a play like it was as much for NFL. It's more conversational, and we're giving it probably a few, but not every single team will have a future.
Yeah. Yep. So there you have it, Ben. Let everybody know how we did in the Super Bowl, how we're doing since May 21st. That is a lot of volume there and a lot of plus money volume. We appreciate everybody who tunes in. We are excited to handicap the second half of the calendar that won't involve an NFL or a college game that matters until late August, early September. World Cup's coming though, Beltway, Ben.
I'm studying up.
That far
I'm
off.
preparing. I'm going to be giving some
Not
World
that
Cup
far
stuff
off.
out, hopefully.
Mr. Tony says he wants me handicapping World Cup games on the Kornheiser show on the podcast. So that'll be good.
That will be
good for the Wanna Bet family. Anytime we get an audience with Tony is a good day.
Yes.
So
100%.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the football season as we did. Weird one for sure. You want to bet? We want to bet. Media wants to bet. Thank you for betting with us.